Hi there, I'm Questy. Welcome back to Shadows Awakening. Where we left off last week, I was flailing around in confusion, digging through the Hermit's Cavern. This guy over here is humming to himself, and he was telling me that I needed to touch a crystal in the depths. So I plumbed the depths of this cavern. The crystal below, as he calls it. Realistically, what he means is he means below the level of him in the map. So he means exactly on the same level, but right over here. Now, this is the crystal. This is the crystal that I was looking for. Already the whole idea that I was going to be trapped in the form of that wasp, that's not a problem. But here we go. It's that simple. I just need to look over here.
My claws grow sharper.
Ah, at last. The dark spasm has passed.
A thorn wasp as an ally. Their speed is legendary.
Unlike thy own slow paws.
Okay, so there's a little bit of a confusing thing. Like, the game obviously a little bit fucked up right there because honestly, we should not have received our ally until now, basically, but we did. So that all seems a little bit out of whack. But look, we get to level up as our first act of the game here. So let's do that. Let's get in here and start leveling. All right, I'm going to head over to my character. I'm going to assign my stat points first, just so that none of this stuff is closed off to me, because look, it's a precious talent point. Good times. Okay, so this guy here, we have him on a fairly simple path to growth here. We're doing basically endurance and strength, although for my OCD, I want that to be a nice round number. All right, and then we're just going to go ahead and give him a little more strength, build up his damage, and we're just going to keep going that way. But we can go over here to skills as well. We only have 2 points handy, and this is something that we're probably going to end up waiting a little bit. Although we actually do have something to spend coin on right now. Like this here is sort of an AoE debuff. That's great. This is pretty okay. You can see that lifesteal amount is going to jump up to 35% with 160% increased damage. It's going to cost a little more mana, but it's also going to make him a lot more effective for 5 seconds. That's something that's pretty good to pop if he's maybe down, you know, like you just need that burst of damage to overcome a large enemy. So we're actually going to grab that. I have enjoyed using that a couple of times. And that's dropped him down to 0 skill points, but he does have a talent. So let's see what we can drop in there. What we have already is might, just gives him more strength. We've got lesser regeneration. That's handy. Between fights, it gives us regen. That's a little bit faster. And we do have his crit rate increased a little bit as well. What is his crit rate looking like these days? Critical chance, 17%. That's actually not that bad. That's not that bad at all. So let's see what else we could do. We could go toughness. This increases hit points by 300, so he's already rocking 824. That's going to bring him right up to the edge of, well, it's going to bring him almost to 1200 hit points. That's pretty good. The faux ones don't really make much sense at all for me, and maybe I'm just missing something, but that seems so specific, it's just silly. Unless you wanted to specialize characters for different areas of the game, which I don't. The same being true of guard. Until one of these shows off to be really dangerous against me, I can't really see doing that. Let's see though. I don't know whether any of that stuff would be as useful as just taking some of this, right? Like mortal hit, 3% chance to instantly slay. I sort of feel like that should go on a character who's already got slay chance, like my horrible little goblin. But this just kind of makes overall sense, and so does this, right? But again, this is probably pretty good for the goblin because, you know, he's critting at a pretty high rate. So let's take martial training. This seems like the way to go. This guy attacks a lot. He's two-handed. Let's take martial training. Let's just up his overall DPS. That looks good to me. Okay, speaking of horrible little goblins, here's Urshak. Look at this nasty little thing. Look at his helmet. That thing looks ridiculous. I like it. Okay, but we're going to do the same thing here. We're going to jump into this. We are probably going to give him 3 points into this to bring it up to a nice even 35, and then we'll uneven this to 62. So his critical chance bonus is 7%. His critical chance bonus is actually technically lower than the other one. And I'm interested to know whether or not his equipment is actually represented in this or not. It probably is, but I don't know for sure. But anyway, we'll just kind of keep going as if we're building a crit build on him. All right, so skill-wise, let's see what we've got. We've got 4 skill points saved up, which is pretty good. We don't have the level yet. That's next level that we can improve multi-shot. This has turned out to be a really powerful ability. I really like it. This is really good as well, but again, we can't take it up another notch. So the abilities that we are currently using are kind of where we need them. So ultimately, if we were to wait another level, we would get a 2. So we would be able to jump one of these. We would probably take, well, realistically, all 3 of the abilities that I am using, I really like. This is an interesting one. You can sort of see the combos that they're going for, right? Like if I drop a landmine, I throw a gravity substance on it, that brings all the enemies onto it, and then I pop the mine. So I can see the combos they're going for here, but by the same token, like a lot of this kind of works, right? Like I could use that with this, right? I could line them up and just hammer them down with that, or I could even roll into them and deliver that big hit of blunt damage. I think I'm just going to stick with that's one thing. Like we're almost to the bottom here. That's one thing that this game maybe doesn't have. It doesn't have a lot of diversity. You're basically just taking, you're just looking at the damage and you just take that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait till level 13 and I'm going to upgrade multi-shot or landmine, something like that. We'll just kind of keep going that way. So I'm going to save those points, but we can take a look at his talent. That's interesting for him. Not gonna lie, dexterity would be pretty interesting for him. Let's just take a quick look around. Movement speed, less so. We're actually not having that much trouble with kiting. But let's see what else we could potentially take. Bonus 20% damage when hit points drop under 30%. That's not going to be that handy for him. And to be fair, that works for any character, but it's less interesting than just going with this dexterity. Let's grab the attack speed bonus. And I'm hoping I can compound that a little bit with other abilities oh, her staff isn't animating. That's too bad. Okay, now main character Evia. Let's see what she's got going on. Okay, so let's drop 2 points into there. We'll bring her agility up 3 points. Once again, we're trying to boost that critical chance bonus. You can tell she's getting a lot less out of it than some of the other characters are. But her critical chance is 17. It's sort of interesting that I'm building him into a crit build and he has the lowest critical chance. That would make me think that probably gear is being factored into this number right here. Oh yeah, bonus from items and skills, 3%. So just out of curiosity, so we will apply that. Just out of curiosity, what does this look like for him? So he's getting 6. Base weapon chance 4. So her critical chance, base weapon chance is 10. That's interesting. So bows have a really low base chance. Never bothered looking that up. Whereas hers is pretty high. But we know that her magic can crit too. So that's, or at least we suspect it can. So that's what we're really going for. Okay. Skill wise though, let's take a look. Now we did take Meteor, which seemed pretty powerful, but we actually switched back to Flame Strike just because it delivers multiple hits and is still quite powerful. We haven't been using this. We haven't been using this. Realistically, though, we have enough points now that we can increase Fire Breath, which is just that burst of damage that we use all the time. We can put another 140 points of damage on that, and we're absolutely going to do it. Okay, so let's see what she's got here. She has Precision. That could increase her crit chance even higher to 19%. That is good. But what else can she do? What the fuck? She mana leeches? And every cast has a 5% chance to reset all cooldowns. This would be outstanding if the chance was higher, or if you had more skills in play. But the way that it works, if they're talking about cast as her actual skill usage, I guess that's an important difference. If they're talking about cast as her auto attack, then that's a good ability. If they're talking about it as her use of her skills, that's a bad ability. It's kind of hard to say, but I think this is probably the best thing for her. That's a steady, because it's from attacks, right? So I would assume that means her auto attack. That means she just drains mana constantly. That's fucking great. We're putting that in. Boom, there we go. Okay, we just got the Devourer left. Sorry about this episode. It's just turned immediately into me leveling these assholes. But at least we did find that stupid, ridiculous crystal that I was looking for forever last time. Okay, so this guy here, no particular confusion. We're just gonna, whatever, we'll just give him more health. There you go, buddy. Okay, we're gonna do skills first and then talents. Okay, so he's got 3 saved up, which probably means that we are going to be able to buff something. Not this. This is maxed. But what else do we have? Okay, once again, the stuff that we actually have socketed is waiting. So technically... How long does this last? 8 seconds. 8 seconds isn't that long in this game because the pace of combat is quite slow. I think we're just going to end up saving for some upgrades again, because we actually will at level 13. At level 13, we'll be able to upgrade this and we'll have a lot of points left over. So we'll see. We might jump something else up, but I think that's probably where we'll end with that. And here... Let's see. Down at the bottom's where we're finding a lot of good stuff here. Damage dealt by 5%. That's actually pretty good for him as well. I think that's probably gonna be what we go with. Every attacker has a 25% chance to run away in panic. This is actually more annoying than anything else. I mean, toughness for him would be big as well. But I think I'd rather just take that generalized DPS upgrade. Let's keep it simple. Okay, so let's socket that. And we are finally leveled up. So we're gonna actually here we'll stick with this guy just because it's sort of his territory, and we'll go back and talk to that shaman now that we've done the thing with the crystal. Hopefully that'll have made him happy. Alright, he's still humming. Still doing his thing. Yeah.
Yes?
What are you doing, Elder?
The endless chant, holding the curse at bay. An endeavor more vital than talking to you, Wolf. Yes?
What is this endless chant?
It is what you are preventing me from doing, Wolf. Be brief. I must resume my trance.
Thank you for helping me end the dark spasm, Hermit.
For giving you directions, Turn left, go straight ahead. Hardly a great favor, Wolf. It's not like I calmed the spirits of the ancestral moon for you, is it?
I don't want to listen to him hum.
What are the spirits of the ancestral moon?
Where did you hear of these, Wolf?
From you.
I should not have mentioned such matters. It would take a miracle to appease the 4 ancestral shades who serve the moon now. Spit it out, Wolf.
Okay. Some clumsy deployment of quests there.
I shall appease the ancestral shades of the moon for you, Hermit.
You will be lucky if they will meet with you, much less accept their totems.
I am Tsar the Berserker, and I am sworn to serve Teymuria however I can.
As you wish, Wolf. although it will not be easy. One ancestral shade serves each quarter of the moon. Each must be appeased with the proper totem. When you have found a totem, present it to the Barrow of the Moon, here in the wilds. When all four are appeased, the blessing of the moon will be upon us all again. Perhaps, although I dare not hope, they may deem us worthy and break this baleful curse. Be brief. I must resume my trance.
Okay, so that's interesting because just to recap, we did find out in earlier episodes that during a war with neighboring city-state or empire or something or another, the Taymurians, these furries, they enacted this curse on their own lands in order to just, drive the enemy out or something like that. And now it's kind of also fucked them over, which is no giant surprise there. Sort of the slash and burn approach.
Can I help you with this, Chant?
That is an offer I did not expect from you, Wolf. You would take my place and maintain the endless chant in my stead?
Interesting. Now, I really doubt that basically this is going to be a switch for this shaman. So we'll just be grandiose and say that, yeah, I would stay here forever if it would help lift the curse. I feel like that's about right for his personality, what there is of it.
Aye. I would stay here forever if it will help lift the curse. Although, I really don't know what you're doing.
You have a generous spirit, Wolf, but you cannot take my place. You are clearly a warrior. This is a task only a shaman could endure.
I could find someone who can do whatever it is you are doing.
I could not ask another shaman to take this burden. It is mine to bear. But I cannot stay like this. Death will claim me, this year or the next. What will happen then, with no shaman to hold the curse at bay? I dread to imagine. What is...
I should go.
Okay, that's kind of interesting because that just told us to go kill the werewolves. All right, so that's keeping it simple.
Judgment.
Okay, flailing around because I really wish I could zoom out farther. I cannot. All right, so we'll switch back over to Evia for a bit. And get on out of these caverns. I think we've done all we can do here. We picked up the cool item. Oh, speaking of, we did pick up the cool item, didn't we? And I don't... yeah, it was this necromancer staff that we picked up. And we are now high enough level to use it. I think... 10% chance to slow... 2% chance to slay. Yeah, I think that is just a straight up overall improvement for her, no questions. Kind of looks pretty badass as well. Although, talk about a hassle to carry around. But yeah, we're good. We're good. And that's inflicting dark damage. We'll have to see if there's any enemies that, that's less good against, but we'll find out. Okay, to the Taymurian wilds. We've spent almost 20 minutes just fucking around leveling characters and whatnot. This is almost to find out what's coming up here. And oh man, I keep wanting to zoom out. I've been playing so much Grim Dawn lately. I've been streaming a bunch, and every time I load this game, I just feel like I'm way too close in on the camera. It just feels weird. Okay, what I should do though is I should figure out where I need to be going next. It looks to me like potentially we're gonna have a way forward kind of over here. So I'm actually just gonna take the run on over and see if that is correct, but I won't force you guys to hang out with me on that one. I'll do the trek alone through the Taymurian wilds here. Okay, so I would imagine here we are. So let's just swap this in and we've got ourselves a bridge to move forward here. And quite possibly some enemies to slaughter. Temurian ghost spirit here. Gonna do the charge down on this guy. Oh, really feeling that extra 5% damage. There we go. Alright. Let us explore the space a little bit. Now that we have found it. Okay, so we've got some more of these statues. We were finding, like, even back in the village, we were finding some of this stuff. And not really knowing what to do with it. It looks like we've got this altar here. Now, I'm imagining that this is maybe the grove that he talked about in terms of the phases of the moon and a place to offer things. Though I'm not 100% sure what to do with these. It could be that this is just something that could be rewarded. Let's see. So yeah, so we can change the symbols there. Can we change them all to be the same? Would that do anything? We cannot. Yeah, okay. I don't know why she keeps running around there every time I click on it as well. But let's do a little bit of exploration of the area and keep trying to push forward a little bit here. I haven't actually been in combat back in the real world yet, so I don't know how this new staff is going to perform, but I'd love to find out. Let's actually quickly switch here because we do have these guys to murder. Soulstone's full, so it's not like that's an issue, but... Oh, am I stuck? Yeah, I'm 100% stuck on something there. It was flailing at midair. Looked like a Skyrim monster or something like that, just hung up on terrain. Alright, so... Is this really it for this area? That would seem weird. Because it doesn't really appear to give us much of a way forward, does it? All of that effort to find this. But I guess, well, I guess I would expect there to be some way out of here, but I'm not actually seeing it. And maybe that has something to do with me not knowing what this is. But as far as I've seen, there's been really nothing to tell me what to do there. So let's go ahead and get back out into the main map, and we're probably going to have to do a little bit more poking around to try to figure that out. Now we can take the sound cues that tell us whenever there's something nearby in the Shadow Realm. But I think this is going to end up in a bit of a case of me just kind of poking around and digging into the level a little bit more. So I'm gonna take another little pause for you guys. Okay, so yeah, this is probably the spot here, which is actually right by that Hermit's Cavern. We ran right by it because I'm a champion of navigation. But here we are. This is hopefully going to be the path forward. I mean, it pretty much has to be, right? There's only one other place that we hadn't really been to, and this is it. So this had better be the way forward. The woods are pretty quiet, though. There's not a lot of enemies left. We've done a lot of work. Okay, so here we go. We're starting to get into some hostiles again. And now I'm guessing that these are going to start being the, you know, the naughty furries, the bad guys. Okay, so these guys are immune to slay. I'm going to pull back, obviously, before I start this. Let's get our tank out. And then we'll drop some damage on these guys. Now her staff is pretty darned effective. It looks like a lot of these guys don't have much resistance to the dark damage. Let's see. Okay, my minion is clumping these guys up quite nicely. So there, check that out. Alright, it looks like we've got ourselves a guy with a shield here. Oh, interesting. Like... I can do all the work on this side. That's actually a change from the... Oh, okay. He's actually... Oh, I get it. The werewolves actually have... That's kind of cool, isn't it? The werewolves have sort of a second... Like, they have a shadow form that is the wolf, and then they have the... So we have to slay the wolf in this realm, and then we can switch back over to the other realm and
I will taste your blood.
beat the shit out of them. This way. Oh, he got his shield back up just in time. Oops. There we go. The werewolf form is not particularly tough.
We are triumphant this day.
That was still pretty sturdy. I mean, if that's gonna be just a regular opponent, then that is an uptick in the difficulty of regular opponents. There we go. No problems there. Let's just poke around. Oh, we could be missing something here. Oh yeah. Oh, this guy for starters. Let's freeze him down because we have been taking quite a bit of attritional damage there. Okay, let's have a little poke around here. Oh, hello. Oh, hello. There's actually quite a bit going on back here. Let's murderify him. And then same there. Little bit of shadow poison from a shadow demon here. We've got more of these wasps going on over here. Okay, yeah, the area is opening up considerably now that I've managed to navigate my way here. That said, I am still interested in what was going on at that little altar that we found earlier. That could be something kind of cool. I'll have to wait and check that out. Okay. Oh, these little bastards with their evasion. Okay, this guy's abilities are really economical there, aren't they? That spread shot is powerful, and holy crap, that was actually kind of a big hit. Yeah, here we go. This is gonna be spread shot territory here. Let's just see how many of these we can gather in. And I missed one. Got in too close, I guess. Still not too bad. Here, let's landmine this one. These big guys are so slow, and they're also a little bit vulnerable to fire, so we can probably just one-shot them. Speaking of, let's just drop this down here. This should waste him pretty fast. Characters are all feeling a heck of a lot more powerful. You see a little slay proc in there, just one-shot that guy with a slay chance. I mean, it's usually only something like 2 or 3%, but it does happen. And now I'm not doing poison damage anymore, so these guys aren't resistant to it. Stunning bug mace. Okay, let's eliminate him with a little bit of fire damage. And poke into all the corners because, oh, yep, shit, we got another one here, so let's do this real quick. Let's do the freeze down. Cut through his shield, and we're gonna go back in here. Okay, this guy's actually pretty strong, so let's just get him held up and get some DPS on him. There we go, some nice meaningful crits. Oh man, timing-wise, oh, thank God, I didn't actually waste that. Get a freeze down just to try to avoid taking as much damage as we have been. He's immune to slay, not too surprisingly there. Let's just try to hold him in that effect, and that should get the kill. Damn it, not quite. Okay, we're gonna take another freeze just to try to reduce the amount of damage I'm taking, but I'm running low on mana is kind of the problem. There we go. Okay, yeah, definitely challenge rating is improving a little bit here. Things are getting a little more exciting. So, let's press on, shall we? Oh, okay, interesting here. This looks like potentially one of these groves. Oh, we really don't know what we're looking for here. Like, we don't know what this does. Let's take a look in the... Ow. I was gonna say take a look in the other realm here. Okay, that was apparently out of my rush range. Alright, is anything different here? No. Is anything different for him? It is not. Okay, we do have candles that we can interact with. Now, I don't... So, this could be part of the, like a crescent for the moon. So let's just light all the candles and see what happens. The clicks are a little funky here. Let's see if we can do this. loads of nothing have happened. Loads of nothing. Okay, so it could be that I need only some of the candles to be burning. I really have absolutely no idea what's going on over there. But we might be able to pick up some more clues. So I'm not just going to jump straight over and look it up right away. I'm going to have a look around, sort of see what's going on here. He's pretty murdery. I like it. Let's see. Okay, so it looks like we're gonna have to have another little jump over here. Now, this has been a rather disjointed episode, lots of leveling, lots of stuff like that. But before we head back over and onto this next area, I think this is actually a pretty good point to call it. It's been 30 minutes, and I'm a little bit back into this now. I feel like I've been away from it longer than usual, even though it's been the same amount of time, just because I've been doing so much other gaming in the meantime. But we are back on board, and I'll get my episodes together here. So I hope you've enjoyed it, even though it was a little bit disjointed, and I will see you again next time.